Coming up next on Cordisco's Corner. And of course, the guy they pick is a veteran in a wheelchair. Just how big of scumbags are the Democrats, honestly and truly? Hi, folks. Welcome to Cordisco's Corner. Welcome back. I hate to subject you to this craziness, but from MSNBC. I very rarely go here. Talk about, how do I put this? Crazy people. Republican or Representative of Madison Cawthorn's North Carolina re-election test case. One way or the other, legal challenge to Cawthorn's 2022 candidacy could therefore have enormous implications. What they're trying to do, and of course the guy they pick is a veteran in a wheelchair. Just how big of scumbags are the Democrats, honestly and truly? Unbelievable to me. They picked a veteran in a wheelchair. Good Lord. What they're basically doing is they're saying that any Congress member or any senator that voted not to endorse the Electoral College is ineligible to run for office, i.e. the 14th Amendment. And it reads, to have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid to comfort to those engaged in such acts. So they're saying is, if you organized or help organize the rally January 6th, you've given aid and comfort to people that have done insurrection or rebellion. A group of North Carolina voters filed an unusual legal challenge Monday, asking the North Carolina State Board of Elections to determine whether Republican Representative Madison Cawthorn is eligible to run for re-election in the House of Representatives later this year. The issue isn't whether Cawthorn meets the Constitution's age and residency requirements. Clearly he does. Rather, the challenge claims that Cawthorn was ineligible by dint of the 14th Amendment's disqualification clause, a post-Civil War provision that provides that one cannot serve in Congress if you have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to those engaged in such acts. Just how much trash are these people? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. These people have no shame. When are Republicans going to realize this? Democrats have no shame. They don't play by the rules, and you're playing by the rules. Stop bringing a knife to a gunfight. Across 34 pages, I'm sure that's riveting reading. The complaint alleged that Cawthorn was involved in efforts to intimidate Congress and the vice president into rejecting valid electoral votes and subvert the essential constitutional function of an orderly and peaceful transition of power. It's up to the Congress member. That's why individuals vote, and that's why they're up for re-election every 2 years in the House. If the people in that congressional district think him voting not for the electoral votes is bad, they vote him out. And that's the way it is. And was involved in either planning the attack on January 6th or alternatively the planning of the pre-attack demonstration and or march on the Capitol with the advanced knowledge that it was subsequently likely to lead to the attack and otherwise voluntarily aided insurrection. Otherwise voluntarily. See, this is a stretch. But this just goes to show you how much of a scumbag the Democrats are. Truly, I don't use the word that much, at least on this channel. As been noted, North Carolina law puts the burden on the candidate to prove his eligibility. I don't like that. You have to prove your innocence. No, you have to prove he's guilty, but that's the way the law reads in North Carolina. So Cawthorn will have to demonstrate by preponderance of the evidence, so legal standard usually means more likely than not, either that he was not involved in those efforts as a factual matter, and those efforts didn't meet the 14th Amendment legal criteria of engaging in insurrection or giving aid or comfort to those involved in the January 6th attack. Hundreds of thousands of people were there. A few hundred rioted and stormed the Capitol. Stupid, stupid, stupid on their part. Not only was it, I think, morally and legally wrong, but it set back their cause. They put all kinds of ammunition in the guns of the Democrats to shoot at them because of it. Now, we can't go into details because this is YouTube, but there's a lot of unrefrigerated fish here about this whole thing. Now the litigation unfolds, and if that's how the litigation unfolds in North Carolina, then it's hard to imagine the fireworks that could arise. And if the challenge succeeds, it become a model for similar attempts by voters in other states to seek to disqualify other members of Congress who publicly encouraged and incited and may have publicly facilitated the violence on January 6th. Publicly encouraged and incited. They were at the gates of the Capitol during Trump's speech. He said, do not do violence. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. These people have no shame. I think they picked North Carolina because, frankly, their laws are a little bit different. The Cawthorn Challenge is a fascinating test case for state disqualification procedures and for the idea the 14th Amendment disqualification clause could be enforced against involved in January 6th through state election suits. You can always get a handful of people in every single state in the country to do every single Republican congressman. Thus, obviously, the Cawthorn suit might be even more of an important precedent, reaffirming the power of each chamber of Congress to simply refuse to seat members who were involved in the January 6th attack, if and when they next begin a congressional term. Although, yeah, that way they get to keep the majority without the will of the people. Think about that for a minute. They're talking about voting rights. They're talking about the people's right to vote, to pick their representatives, and yet they do this? This is hypocrisy on a level that I can't even tell you. Well, the Constitution allows each chamber to expel individual members. Expulsion requires 2/3. An impossible bar to meet these days. Only one member has been expelled. Expulsion for those with ties to January 6th is thus not in the cards. But at various points in the country's first 180 years, each chamber has exercised the power. And they go on and on. In the 1969 Supreme Court case, the Constitution does not vest in the Congress a discretionary power to deny members by a majority vote, so Congress may only exclude members elect if they fail to meet the qualifications expressly set forth in the Constitution. Pretty clear. In that case, the only qualifications the court reported to were those set out in Article 1, Section 2, Clause 2. No person shall be representative who shall not have attained the age of 25, has been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state in which he shall be chosen. And there you have it. There you have it. That's all you need to know right there. That's all you need to know. Since the 1969 decision, courts have no opportunity to consider the Supreme Court's analysis interacts with the disqualification clause in the 14th Amendment. But the Cawthorn case illustrates how the argument could go. If an individual is disqualified from serving in Congress given an express constitutional provision that does not follow that, in the Supreme Court's words, they therefore meet the qualifications expressed forth in the Constitution. Put another way, i.e. English, is compliance with the disqualification clause in itself one of the express qualifications for office imposed by the Constitution. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. A disqualification clause is a standalone qualification to hold federal office. If that is the bottom line, then it gives implications far beyond Cawthorn. Yeah, what they want to do, they know they're going to lose the majority. They know. So this is what they're doing. They're going against the express will of the American people and the voters. There's no electoral college argument. It's direct voting from each congressional district. And they're going against the will of the American people. They know they're going to lose the majority. And that's the will of the American people. And they said, no, we're not going to allow you to have your vote count to pick who you want as your representative, which goes against their hypocritical voting rights bill. These people suck so bad, I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. Here, look at this on the right here. Join Amy Klobuchar. Signatures needed to disqualify Trump. There is no signature requirement needed. It's a lie. It's probably a fundraising mechanism. I'm not even going to click on it. Unbelievable. And the guy they pick is the guy in the wheelchair, a veteran. These people are trash. Trash. Yeah, he spoke at the rally. So did a lot of other people. He never once called for violence. None of them did, including Trump. This is how desperate the Democrats are. And that party should be swept out of power, swept out of office. Democratic Party go to ashes. They're not viable anymore. They're evil and manipulative. They will do anything to keep power. So when you go to vote, keep that in mind. Sorry to subject to the MSNBC article, but I felt it was necessary. Hopefully you won't have to have any therapy to get through it. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.